Welcome, I'm TAMKO and you are listening to African Action Heroes, the podcast, the online community developed by and for creatives and changemakers of African descent to facilitate promotion, collaboration, and empowerment. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time, hear what you can expect. An open-hearted conversation with creatives and changemakers of African descent, sharing their journey, useful tips and insights to help you to be at your very best while creating content and stories about us through our own narrative. Also, it will be a great opportunity to discover and connect with incredible and inspiring rising stars looking like you. Welcome to African Action Heroes. Today, we have a very special guest, Asante Massawa, the founder of Nubiamancy Entertainment. Hello, Asante. How are you?
I'm doing very well, very well.
Yeah. So thank you very much for being with us today. So to start, I would like to know more about you. So how do you define yourself and what do you do and who are you exactly?
Well, my name is Asante Massawa and I am a filmmaker, I am a researcher, I'm a historian. I practice African spirituality. I'm engaged.
Good.
And I love seeing my people represented in the best light possible. And that includes people native to Africa, our Black people of every tribe, our cousins in other parts of the world, in Papua New Guinea and Australia, right? The indigenous people, because they also came from Africa.
Yeah.
And the diaspora, the people who are so-called descendants of slaves, but we know we're not slaves, right? From the Americas, the Caribbean, from South America, and all over other parts of the world. I like to see us represented in the best light possible. And that is essentially the crux of what makes Nubiamancy, and that's my number one passion. So that's who Asante Massawa is.
Okay, well, that's really incredible because what you're doing is so aligned with the life mission of African Action Heroes. And so that's why when I discovered like Nubiamancy on Instagram, I was blown away by what you were doing, and I was happy to see that I'm not alone actually, and there is a lot of people like-minded who want to first like have that vision of unity among all the people of African descent in the world, because you define that like very well, including like everybody. And yeah, because me too, I believe that we are one, and we should like get together to be at the place we are supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so could you tell me more about like what is Nubiamancy and why did you started it?
Well, Nubiamancy is a film production company that we do sci-fi, fantasy, and horror filmmaking. And so far we have two films. The first film is called Descendants, and it was more of a sci-fi project that had time travel and you know, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And the second project was more or less sci-fi but more fantasy. And my third project, which I'm currently working on right now, the anime, is very dark fantasy. So it has a lot of horror elements, a lot of dark elements, a lot of fantasy elements, lots of magic, lots of spirit, you know, African spirituality, and yeah, so that's what Nubiamancy is. It's essentially a film production company to showcase Africans in a light that they've never been shown before. And when you think about fantasy and sci-fi, we haven't seen much depictions of us in those genres.
Yeah.
Right. It's mostly, you know, things to do with like, you know, corruption, like some African warlord who is corrupt. We've seen that. We've seen all the Nollywood movies with like, you know, family drama, you know, and you know, this person's cheating on that person.
Yeah.
And then the Black American films are like gangsters and basketball players and Big Mama's House and all that stuff. But when you think of like sci-fi and fantasy, starring Black people, there's not much. You know, there's Black Panther, there's Blade, there's Spawn. Then after that, there's not much, right? There's Yasuke recently in the terms of anime, but again, it's not much, right? So we're trying to expand what you can find in the genres of Black filmmaking on the side of fantasy, sci-fi, and horror. But before Nubiamancy became a film production company, we were just I wasn't a company. I was just a guy with a company with a name on Instagram and Facebook, just posting art, posting art, spectacular art that people had never seen before. And the page just grew, and the page kept growing and growing and growing. And eventually, I said, you know what, I want to do film, and I want to do film that has people that looks like the art I'm posting in the film. That's how we became a film production company. So that's what Nubiamancy is. We share art and we do film.
Wow. No, that's I feel like I'm dreaming when I listen to what you're doing, because I don't have the opportunity to meet so many people like doing things like this. And because we see, like, recently we see a lot of art, especially on Instagram, like with the young people doing art representing themselves, but often you see, like, for example, like Black Naruto or Black Son Goku and all that kind of things. And me, I believe that, but that's okay to do those kind of things, because when I was young, probably I would have done stuff like that. But I believe that we have like so much history and tradition and culture that we could share in like different type of content and medium, that that like having people like you like pushing that forward that much. Because now on your Instagram page, how many people how many followers do you have right now?
It's 117,000.
117,000. And since when did you start that page?
Well, that page, the original Nubiamancy page was started in 2014 on Instagram. I was probably early 2015, late 2014, somewhere around there. That's when I first made it to Instagram. But the very first Nubiamancy page was on Facebook in April 2013. That's when I first started posting art. But I came to Instagram late 2014, early 2015, and unfortunately, the original page was shut down because I was hacked. And some hacker took over my page. I pressed the wrong link, and next thing I know, my page was gone. Right.
Oh my God.
And I had to reach 100,000 followers on that page, right, in 2018. So I had a whole bunch of I still have what I call subsidiary pages, which are pages that that only share like a specific kind of art. Right. And so I had to turn one of those pages into the current Nubiamancy page. And that page at the time had like 43,000. So I just changed that page's name to Nubiamancy. And then
you started from. Okay. Yeah, so quite some adventure happened. It wasn't that easy to
it
to
was a small setback, but it didn't stop us.
Yeah, because I can feel like that energy that push you forward. And because I every day I go on the Instagram page, and I check the comment and all that kind of things. And what had a strong impact on me is like the way you interact with people on your page.
Sometimes I'm very blunt.
Yeah, and that's because if I can give an example, it's like a blade. A blade. And
the reason for that is because I've been doing this for a long time, and when people leave certain kinds of comments, I know the mindset behind the comment. And so that determines my response. Is that I know when they're being racist. I know when they're being sexist. I know when they're being elitist. So we're not like those African people out there, or we're not like these American people out there. Right. So I know when they're like, when they're like a Christian who's like trying to diss African spirituality, or if they're an African spiritualist just trying to diss Islam, or I just know the mindset behind certain kinds of comments, and sometimes my commentary towards people like that is very, very much like a blade, like you said.
Yeah.
Since you want to cut somebody else, well, here I'm gonna cut you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my page is not one of those pages where we have to think of the customer. The customer's always right. No, they're not. Not on my page.
Yeah. And that's
you be respectful.
Yeah. That's what I like is it's the authenticity behind like what you're doing on the page. And it's not like you, as you said, it's not like you're doing like customer service and you try to get people. And what I like, I have an example. It was with there is that post about it was a male, and we see his penis, and on the drawing, and a lot of people was like mad about that.
A lot of men.
Yeah, it was a man. Yeah, because
a lot of men were mad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, are you this mad when I post naked women?
Yeah, and
you need to be quiet.
Exactly, and I love that because sometimes there is, to be honest, there is like some picture that is too much for me, like in terms of like sexiness. Yeah, because when I was young, it would be cool, but now I have my daughter, I'm married and everything, and so I'm not into like too much sexy stuff anymore. But the fact that you were like very
very balanced.
Yeah, you are very balanced. It was like you post like sexy women, but you post also like naked men, and like so what? And I love that that type of attitude.
Yeah, my page is all about I post something that everyone of whatever spectrum you like something on my page. You won't like everything on my page, but you will like something on my page, and that's part of the reason why I do that, and that's also part of the reason why I have my subsidiary pages.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like everything on this page, then go to this page if you only like one thing. Right?
Yeah.
And so the main Nubiamancy page has always been, if it's fantasy, sci-fi, and horror, whether the person is naked or not, and if it's allowed to be posted, I will post it.
Yeah.
And if it offends you, just scroll down. Just scroll down.
Exactly.
You will find something you like. But you know, online that's not how people work.
Yeah.
People just focus in on things they don't like, and they just focus on that one thing instead of just going over there to find something else that they like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry about that. The little one is back, and apparently she's not happy. No, she had too much fun to her cousin's place, I think.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and I would like to know what were the challenges that you had when you started like the Nubiamancy?
Well, with the production company, obviously the first thing is always money.
Yeah.
Right. So you can have all the ideas that you want, but if you have no funding, it means nothing, and it dies. Right. So that was the first hurdle was getting the money. So to start my film production company, I had a crowdfunding.
Yeah.
A crowdfunding opportunity where I asked people to donate. You know, this is our first foray into film. So since you've been following Nubiamancy for a while, if you'd like to see some of this artwork become film, you know, donate to our upstart, and let's take it from there.
Yeah.
It wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be. I was trying to raise $100,000, only raised $8,000, which is still a good amount, but not anywhere close to what I wanted. But it was a start, right? And you know, after that, the next hurdle was now getting funding for each film. You know, so it always goes back to funding.
Yeah.
It goes back to money. But with my first two films, I found a way, and I released them. I got some really good feedback, and with those films, I guess another hurdle I could think of is the fact that I was inexperienced as a filmmaker. I'd never made a film before.
Okay.
Never been on a film set. Never did anything. But the thing about me is that I'm a very quick learner. So all I did was just watch videos on YouTube, listen to people talk about film and how they do film, and you know, camera angles, color grading, all that kind of stuff. and I basically taught myself
Mm-hmm.
how to direct a film. And I learned by trial and error with my first two films. And after those two films, I said to myself, okay, I'm ready to do bigger projects now. I think I get the
Yeah.
hang of this.
Yeah.
And this anime that I'm doing right now is the start of me doing the so-called bigger projects. And that's where we are right now. So those are some of the hurdles in the upstart.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I saw the two short that you did, and because I
Mhm.
think I saw them maybe last year or 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And the one with Mother Nature,
Hmm.
it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really love that. It was like, oh my god, it's short, but
Hmm.
the story was really well made. And
Hmm.
did you are you writing the stories and
Yeah,
everything? Yeah.
I wrote it, I directed it, and I produced it. I
Wow.
did
And
almost everything.
okay, for that one, how did that idea came up?
It came from an artwork that I posted on my page about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was from an artist from Ghana. His name is Samuel Anem Ado. He's from Ghana. He's an author now.
Mm-hmm.
Still does art, but he's more on the author side. And he painted this art of a black woman that was like fused with a tree,
Mm-hmm.
like she and the tree were one. And there's a like a kid, like a little boy sitting beside the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted the art on Nubiamancy back in, I want to say 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately after posting it, I said, "There's a film here. I see a film."
Yeah.
Like an idea just came into my mind
Mm-hmm.
immediately, and yeah, and then a few months later, once I got the my idea more cohesive,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I contacted him and said, "Hey, um, I would love to make a movie off of your artwork. Not a movie to make money, like not to make money, but just to put this artwork into film form,
Mm-hmm.
right?" And he gave me the okay, and yeah, and that's how that came about.
Oh,
So unlike my first film, my very first film, Descendants, just came from an idea in my mind, but this
okay.
film came from an artwork on the page.
Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting because me too. When I go on Nubiamancy's page, I see like so many artwork that could be that look like concept art for a movie.
Mhm. Yeah,
And so that's what that's interesting that you say that you pick something because that could be a new way to make a short film or even feature film, like by
exactly.
like checking the some artwork, and from that you think about like what type of story, what type of character are behind. And yeah, I think that's really interesting, very exciting actually. um,
Mhm.
and that movie actually made me think about like Japanese horror movie, because I'm a huge fan of Japanese horror movie. And
Okay.
in the film industry in Japan, they don't have like so much money. It's really hard there actually to make a film when you are independent. And so
Okay.
that's why the horror movie, they don't show you don't they there is no much special effect, and they don't show actually the monster, or there is no like yeah, it's really psychological. And the movie that you did was really make me feel something similar. It's like
Mhm.
uh, it's really, there is a kind of tension that is built, and at the
Right.
end there is the cliffhanger, and like you're like wow. But
Yeah.
me, that's yeah, that movie had really that short really had a strong impact. And even now I like it's so clear in my mind. And yeah, so
Yeah.
we need you to come up with like more stuff like this. And because
I have a million ideas, my friend.
yeah,
I have a million. All I need is the money. That's all I
yeah.
need.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Yeah, because I have you heard about do you know Adrian Bob?
Yes, I do. I've
Yeah.
met him.
You met
He
him?
lives here in Toronto.
Yeah. And because yeah, he made a short movie called the EXT.
Hmm.
And he spent like I think 3 years working on it. like putting it
Mm-hmm.
together, and because he didn't have much funding, but he worked
Mm-hmm.
on that because he's doing like he's VFX artist and also he's a writer, and he know
Great.
the pipeline of the in the film industry. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be interesting that if you talk to him to know like more about like the process he went through to
Yep.
make his movie, because uh, I think that he have a very interesting blueprint in terms of like making independent film with not much
Mm-hmm.
money, and it's like more with like finding the right people, and because everybody get paid in his project, even if
Yeah.
it wasn't like like a huge amount of money, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think because you have like if you have million ideas, we have to see them on screen or somewhere.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
definitely.
Yeah, I've met Adrian. I still have his number.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually the one that introduced me to my special effects guy who did my first two films,
Okay.
right? So yeah, so I definitely know about Adrian. I still haven't seen his film because his film was only shown at film festivals
Yeah.
up until I guess last year.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting to see it, but I don't know if it's available yet. But I'll check him out and see if I can finally get to see it.
Yeah. I think I just saw today that there is a new platform that coming up in July. It's Afro Plus, and
Mm-hmm.
his movie seems to be on the. It's a platform for like short movie made by
Okay.
people of African descent, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and his movie was there, I think. So probably in July, if you check the application, you might be able to see that,
All right.
and even maybe you could have your movie on the platform. I don't know what is the deal
Yeah.
there, but that would be interesting
Mm,
to check. It's Afro Plus.
that's a possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the people.
What country in Africa are you from?
Yeah, me. I'm from Cameroon.
Cameroon. Okay.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
tribe?
Bamileke.
Bamileke?
Yeah, Bamileke. But
Okay.
my father is from Bamileke. My mother is from Mbo. It's in the south of Cameroon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bamileke.
Bamileke.
I'll have
Yeah.
to look up. Is that the name of your language as well? Bamileke?
No, the language, because me I don't speak. But I'm born in
Mm-hmm.
France. Um, but the because my parents used to speak Pidgin at home,
Okay.
so I understand Pidgin, but I don't speak, but I understand. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I think that for Bamileke, I don't know the specific language, but
Mm-hmm.
for my mother, it's like it's Mbo.
The Bo language.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Because the reason why I always ask Africans that is because I collect African dictionaries.
yeah. I saw that, and that's something that is really really interesting.
Yeah.
And what? So go ahead. Why are you doing that type
Well,
of project?
well, the reason why I do that is because, like I said, I'm a researcher and a historian.
Yeah.
So, I have read several books, or reading several books because I'm reading them at the same time.
Yeah.
That speak to Africans not just being indigenous to Africa, but also that when we left Africa, we
Mm-hmm.
went all over Asia, and we
Yeah.
went all over Europe and all over America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm on a mission to trace back the African languages
Oh.
that started in Europe and then they
Uh-huh.
made their way back to Africa, because that's
Oh.
what happened when the Aryans or these other tribal people, when they kicked us out of these places,
Yeah.
we migrated to Africa.
Yeah.
Like the ones that left and they had been in Asia for thousands of years,
Yeah.
they came back. So there's tribes in Africa, like in Nigeria.
Uh-huh.
There's two tribes in Nigeria that trace their lineage back to Iran, right?
Oh.
Back to Persia, right?
Yeah.
And then there's another tribe that traces their lineage back to like Turkey and like Syria and
Mm-hmm.
all those places. And they said they came from there, and then they came to Nigeria or Cameroon or Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they came. So I'm like, well, there has to be some kind of linguistic evidence
Yeah.
that shows that yes, this is where they came from. And because I've studied so many African languages and I'm still studying it,
Yeah.
I have found those evidences. So I found people, or sorry, I found tribes
Yeah.
that would have the name, like their name of the sun in their tribe was the
Okay.
name of the sun in an ancient kingdom
Mm-hmm.
from 4,000 years ago in Asia, right?
Ah,
How would an African tribe have the
yeah.
very same name for the sun and the moon as
Mm,
a tribe from 10,000 years ago, who's or 3,000 years ago, who is now extinct,
yeah,
right? The language, they came from there, but some of the words in the language are still in the tribe,
yeah.
right? And so I study a lot of African languages for that reason, but it's also because I'm writing my anime,
Mm-hmm,
and my anime is all African spirituality, like
mm-hmm.
all of it. I get as many words and meanings as I can,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are inserted into the anime,
Okay.
right? Because when you watch Japanese anime,
Yeah.
that's all their folklore and their mythology.
Exactly.
So when you watch Naruto, when you watch
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
when you watch Sailor Moon, when you watch Bleach, when you watch One Punch Man,
Yeah.
they always insert their like character names from like ancient
Like,
folklore
yeah.
and their traditional stories into their anime. And Africa,
Yeah.
if Japan has 100 stories with folklore, Africa has 100,000 stories with folklore.
Mm. Oh my God.
Africa has Africa has 100 times more stories
Yeah.
about folklore than Japan does. So why
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
us? So every time I'm introduced to a new language, like a
Yeah.
new world for me opens up
Yeah.
to like, okay, yeah, so like I can now put this into my anime now to
Yeah.
make the story even richer, right? So yeah, that's why I was asking.
Huh. But because that's really interesting that you come up with that, because I I've been working for over like 20 years with Japan, and I
Hmm.
used to live in Japan, and I
Really?
yeah, yeah, and I was working in the music industry, in the content industry. And when I was young, I wanted to be mangaka, so I even went to animation institute to. I took some course there and everything, and and I study and analyze the Japanese anime. And at a certain point, I did some research about
Hmm.
the place of women in the Japanese manga that allow me to discover things about how is structure like the manga and publishing industry in Japan, because it go back to so yeah, it go back very far. But if you go like just after the war, because manga come like very long time ago, and it
Yep.
was used basically all the publishing things that were published was used back in the day as propaganda for propaganda purpose, and still
Right.
nowadays manga is serve still that purpose as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and as you say, there is like all those elements like in the folklore and even in Dragon Ball Z. If you because I I made kind of an analysis of about Dragon Ball Z, and actually
Hmm.
you can see the story of Japan in Dragon Ball Z, and the Super
Hmm.
Saiyajin actually represent like the Wa, like the Japanese people in the ancient time. And that,
Ah.
yeah, because the planet of the Super Saiyan, basically there were several, there was two like two nation was living on that
Mhm.
planet, and there
Okay.
is the Super Saiyan and there is another one, and basically
Hmm.
the Super Saiyan, they took over and they exterminate all the other like
Right.
yeah, other nations. And
Hmm.
that's what basically that's what happened in Japan with the Ainu, and because
Yep.
at the beginning they
The,
had like,
the Africans who came over.
yeah,
Yep.
and that's, yeah, and as you said, there is all those small like things related to the culture and the folklore and the history that they put in
Mhm.
those anime, and people don't realize really because there is a lot of symbols. And if you don't know like the like Japanese history, or
Yeah.
yeah, you maybe might overlook those. But for
Yep.
sure, if we could do that as well, because me, I'm a strong believer in the soft power. And
Mm.
so that's why I studied African action heroes, and that's why I was so happy to see like Nubiamancy, what you were doing with Nubiamancy, because I
Hmm.
believe that soft power can really change, bring more influence for people of African descent in the world. And
Right.
because right now there is all the resources in Africa like get they get robbed by like Western company, also Asian company and everything. But
Yeah.
since we cannot like do, I think that I believe that since I cannot do anything about that right now, at least
Mhm.
we can change the image, and from the image we can like give get more influence, and at that point we can like we get influence wealth, and we can have like a stronger impact in
Right.
in the world and in the people in the life of people of African descent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's very important for people to be able to tell their own stories.
yeah.
And that's why I'm so inspired by Japan's
Mm-hmm.
anime industry, is
Yeah.
that that's exactly what they've done,
Yeah.
right? They didn't come to Disney and beg Disney to tell our story for us,
Exactly.
right? They started their own,
Mm-hmm.
and they're now making content that's way more exciting than
Mm-hmm.
anything Disney's creating.
Yeah.
Like Disney, if it was a head-to-head battle between Disney and the anime industry, Disney
Yeah.
would lose.
Yeah.
Like Disney would lose because they're
Yeah.
just more creative, and
Mm.
they're just there's an anime for kids, and then there's anime for adults, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
Exactly.
Disney is all children, right?
Yeah.
So right there they already win.
Mm.
And that they're like as an industry they're more versatile than a Disney,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
So yeah, the animation industry in America is way behind Japan, way
Mm-hmm.
behind, right?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people are inspired by Japanese folklore,
Yeah. Yeah.
animation, storytelling, and whatever,
Yeah.
right? So when you see my anime, you'll see elements of that, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll be very different. And first of all, my anime is going to be the first anime where you're going to hear all African voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's going to be anime, but you're not going to hear American voices.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay,
That's cool.
you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it's going to be. So I'm very interested to because not even I know what that sounds like. Yasuke, did you watch
Yeah.
Yasuke?
I watched it. I didn't really
Yeah.
like it to be honest.
So they had a guy there from Benin,
Mm-hmm.
right? The witch guy from Benin, and so that gave me kind of an idea of what an African accent would sound like in anime. But now
Mm-hmm.
imagine the guy from Benin being everybody in an anime. Like everybody sounds like him.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's what my anime is gonna be like. So
Yeah. That
we'll
would
see
be.
what that sounds like when it gets there.
Yeah, that's cool. That yeah, I'm really excited to see like how it turns out to your anime, because that's what we need. That's really what we
Hmm.
need right now.
Definitely,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
And even Japan, you know that the fact that it's popular outside, it's
Hmm.
they didn't plan that.
Right.
Yeah, because because I talked with a lot of like company like making animations back in the days,
Hmm.
and they told me that they were surprised actually of the success of Japanese animation overseas, because they made all
Right.
the animation, they made that for Japanese people.
Japan.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, they didn't
And
intend
you
to.
can tell. You
Yeah,
can tell that they make it for Japanese people
yeah,
because most people's names are Japanese.
yeah,
The language is just all Japanese.
mm-hmm.
The culture of the places are, yes,
Yeah,
influenced by some Western culture, but
yeah,
everything's very much Japanese,
yeah, yeah,
right? So when you watch a lot of early anime, they weren't making it for the world,
yeah.
for sure. They're making it for their people, and it just happened to explode.
Mm. And I think it's because of the stories, the type of the story, and the value that they put in the animation is not about like it's more about like somebody going through a journey, but
Hmm.
they start from the lower point and they get to the top,
Right.
and that's what is really exciting. And they have like diverse type of personality in the animation,
Hmm.
and also the uh, the antagonist is
Hmm.
not like evil. He's
Right.
doing what he does for a reason, or she does.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what is really interesting. It's not like black and white, but there is some gray area, and yeah, that's what I love in animation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What type of values are you putting in the animation you're working on?
Well, the crux of the story is that um, sometimes to fight evil, you have to find some pretty harsh ways within you to deal with that evil. Not necessarily to become evil, but you can't have people trying to attack you and trying to take everything you have, and then you just sit there and play a guitar and say kumbaya. That's not how you fight. But that's how Christians teach us to fight battles. But that's not how Africans fight battles.
Exactly.
Okay? It's not how we fight battles. So when a person's throwing fire at you, you have to find the fire inside you to throw back. Not because you hate them, but because by any means necessary, you must protect what you have by any means necessary, right? And if you're a parent, you understand this, right? Somebody's attacking your home and you have a child, you have a wife, you have a husband, right? You have a family. If you kill the person in your home, is it because you hate the person or is it because you love your family? Right? It's because you love your family. But they have to die. They have to die because they're in your home. Right? So the crux of my story is basically there's a fictional content of Africa in my anime called Gushegu. That's the name of it. And there's some outside supernatural forces that are invading the country through a portal that's been opened, right? And there are forces that work together to open this portal because they had tried for a whole bunch of years to open the portal and they couldn't do it, right? But before the country was what it was now, they had opened the portal before, but then things were put in place to make sure that they couldn't. And for some reason, because of inside forces working with outside forces, a portal was able to be opened, and now people or monsters are now invading. And the ruling council of my country, which is a council of witches, so witches rule the continent of my fictional Africa. They are now recruiting monsters to help them to fight the supernatural onslaught that's invading them. So monsters that people on the continent used to be afraid of, they're now basically starting like a monsters Avengers, like an Avengers of monsters. This invading force. So they're not calling on superheroes, they're calling on monsters. And that's why my project is called We Call on Monsters, because that's what they're calling on. Like if all of us, both monsters, witches, and ordinary people, if all of us don't fight, we won't have a continent. We won't have a continent. And so that's the essence of it, that they're fighting this invading threat. And within that fight, there's a whole bunch of other side plots and side stories going on that affect the main plot.
Okay.
Right. So that's what's going on in my project. So in terms of values, it's about being good people, but finding the fire or the aggression within you to fight back, which is I think a message that Africans need to know right now.
Yeah, need to hear that. Yeah. That's cool. Oh my God. Yeah. And do you have a timeline basically for regarding your project, or even if it's rough?
It wasn't rough before, but it is rough now because of certain setbacks.
Yeah.
So the timeline has been pushed back a bit for the Kickstarter, because I'm going to have a Kickstarter that the two films that I'm doing are supposed to be like the main marketing promotion tools for the Kickstarter. And I was hoping that they would both of the films would be ready by August, but that's not going to happen.
Okay.
We just started animate. We're just about to start animation on the first project, on the first film, and then the second film, I'm waiting for a company to be finished with their project to start on my project.
Okay.
Right. So right now it's looking at November, December, for the Kickstarter. Right. So that's a tentative date right now. So I just want to get the animation done, get the voice acting finished, and then from there we start to say, okay, this is when it's going to be released.
Okay. And what kind of support, what kind of support do you need beside the Kickstarter? What type of support do you need to complete that project? Or
Well, the only support I need to complete it is money,
money? Okay,
right?
okay.
So
So
we're working
it's
on that.
mainly it's the Kickstarter is a big piece for yeah
Yeah. Well, the reason for the Kickstarter
yeah
is after I make these films, which I'm making basically with my own money
yeah
and funding. The Kickstarter will be to fund a pilot,
okay
right? And the pilot, I would like to write a script for a 10 to 20 minute film,
okay
or I should say series.
mm-hmm.
Um, because the two films I'm doing right now, they're only 1 minute long, just like my first two films.
Yeah
They're 1 minute long, but they're two films,
yeah
right? So 1 minute film, another 1 minute film, and then those are just like little teasers to show you the bigger world that I'm building.
yeah
And then that will be for the Kickstarter to say, if you like this world and if you like this world
uh-huh
in these two films that I just did, fund this Kickstarter and help me to write a 20-minute pilot that I can market to Netflix, to Amazon
yeah
Studios, or to whatever streaming network is interested in building on this world. So that's what the Kickstarter will be for, is to fund the
the
pilot
pilot
to then spark interest to
yeah
have a series.
yeah okay yeah
Yeah.
but you should talk to Adrian again because
Yeah.
he's very familiar with all those like pitch stuff because I did an interview with him about pitch but it's not ready yet but
No
so
problem.
that's why I think yeah you definitely should talk to him and because we all like he's a like-minded guy
Yeah.
so we really want to have like news type of stories and see us represented in the different type of content. So I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure he would be happy to to
Yeah.
help.
Whenever the time comes, I'd love
Yeah,
to
yeah,
connect with him again. Like I
yeah,
said, I still have his number. We live in the same city,
yeah,
so
exactly.
he's just a
Oh,
phone call away. But I'm not ready to have those conversations as yet,
yeah,
right? After I finish these two films and the Kickstarter
yeah,
is complete, and then we start the actual pilot phase. That's
uh-huh,
now be going to people like him, people like
yeah,
other producers
yeah,
to come on board and really say there's something here, and if you want to jump on board now,
yeah,
because once I'm gone, that's it, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that time will come.
And how what do you do to keep up like every day with that type of project because it's like as you said you're using your own money to fund that and so there is a lot of
Hmm.
pressure and I see that you're
Lots of pressure.
yeah you working a lot on the Instagram page of Nubiamancy. You're doing your research, you're doing like a lot of things. That's what I like because I'm someone like that as well and I'm really happy to see like other people who are like multi-dimensional people and who can do like different
Hmm.
type of thing that have different type of skills and that know where to find information and to learn like new skills when it's needed because when you do that type of project it's really important to be able to whether learn fast or find the right people to do things and
Exactly.
what do you do to keep that energy all the time to keep up like all the time with all those all those challenge that you have.
Well, I just stay busy is one
Yeah.
thing. So I know this project is not going to fund itself,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate begging people for money.
Yeah.
So me and my fiance and some of my friends, we just put our heads together
Mm-hmm.
and put our monies together, mostly my money,
Yeah.
but our monies
Yeah.
together, and we're making it work. So it's just being focused,
Yeah.
just knowing the importance of this product and the importance of it being
Mm.
done and done well, and the impact that it could potentially have
Mm-hmm.
is what is the driving force behind why I need to finish it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just staying focused.
Yeah.
is what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Because that's as you say, that's the you made like a short before, and the animation is going to be a new thing. So basically, you're learning through the process, and
Right.
yeah, you learning and you're growing through the process, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that's really interesting. I think you probably gonna have a very nice book to write when
Well,
that experience is gonna be over, because the
my
people.
my memoir would be everything from church to witchcraft to travel, right? To be being stranded in a place that you don't know where you are. How are you gonna go home? To having nothing but a penny in your name, right?
I know.
To sleeping on people's couch,
Yeah.
to breakups and makeups, and then my memoir and my biography would have everything,
Yeah.
right?
Huh.
So
Yeah, I really
I've lived quite a life.
uh, because I think that you have a blueprint very important to that you can share to people through that type of through a book or something, or any type of medium, because what you're
Hmm.
doing is like very new, and there is not many people doing it. Even if like recently there is like a kind of a trend with African content like popping up like everywhere, and but I'm kind of skeptical about
Hmm.
that. Yeah, because the reason why it's since the event, the murder of George Floyd, so everybody want to show that they are not racist, and they want to put to show that, oh, okay, I know that Black
Black
Lives
Lives Matter.
Matter. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. So so the you can see like Black people everywhere, like at any in every company they have like new good position and all that kind of things, but it's not genuine. And especially in terms of content, they go in Africa to find like like new talent. But I feel like it could be a new type of colonization happening, and
Oh
like
yeah.
just exploiting people, exploiting the talent of African people, or
Hmm.
people of African descent. And
Yeah,
because IP, for me, IP, that's something very important to own.
that's
And
true.
yeah,
So
and
yeah, so all these people getting deals from Disney Plus,
mm,
it's good and bad in a way, because yes, you're on Disney Plus, but you no longer own your IP,
yeah, exactly.
right? And that's a problem for me.
Yeah,
But I don't like to hate on people for no reason,
yeah, of course.
right? So good luck to them in their success,
Hmm.
and hopefully with their next project they can keep their IP after they've gotten the notoriety and the
Hmm.
fame
Yeah,
from the release of their Disney. I mean, if I ever made a deal like that, it would just be on that basis. Let me
yeah,
get the fame that Disney will get me, and then after this project, I won't need Disney.
yeah,
I
exactly.
I won't need them, and I'll never work with them again, right? So
Yeah.
so I would hope that's their mindset going into this, but I may be wrong. But
Hmm.
that's the only way I could justify working with a company like that and not just with Disney, just with Hollywood in general,
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah,
not a fan of it. Well, when I started my film company, I didn't go to Hollywood. I went to Africa.
yeah.
I went to my film production company started in South Africa. That's where my first film festival is, and
Oh.
that's where most of my film contacts currently are located is in South Africa. Because
Hmm.
I didn't like Hollywood, so why would I go to Hollywood,
Yeah,
right? So
that's
so yeah, good luck to them, and I hope it works out.
yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Because me too, I think that if they have a plan and a strategy like that, that would be cool. Because since I was working in the music industry, usually
Mhm.
if you can like if you can work out that type of a strategy, it's
Mhm.
okay to sign with a big music label.
Yeah.
But if you just like go and you have no real strategy, you're just gonna be crushed by
You
the
just want to be
machine.
famous.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a lot of people just come into the industry. I just want to be famous. I don't care how I get there. I just
yeah,
want to be famous. And those are the kind of people who can be bought.
yeah,
with no integrity. They just want to
Exactly.
be famous.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, but seriously, me, no, right now I have too much emotion, like talking to you. So no, because that's really, no, seriously, that I'm so happy to see like people like you, like authentic with integrity, and who have a vision. Who have a vision.
Mhm.
But with African Action Hero right now, we're growing
Mhm.
consistently. My vision for the future is like to be able to help like creator like you, and to
Mhm.
give them like exposure and a network to
Right.
to create all those like amazing content. Mm.
Yeah. Well, everybody starts from somewhere. When I
Exactly.
first started, I didn't have 117,000 followers when I first started.
Yeah.
I just started posting images and posting things that I love to see,
Mm-hmm.
and people started to follow me. Right. So
Yeah.
when I used to get messages, and not so much now, but I used to get messages from people like, how did you get so many followers? Like, what did you do? And I said, I just posted things I loved. There is there is no like secret formula to
Mhm.
how I became so well known.
Yeah.
There's none. I just did what I love to do.
Exactly.
Right. So I love this image. I'm gonna make a page for this image and other images like it, and I'm gonna start the page, and I'm just gonna start posting. And after 2 months, I had 5,000 followers in 2 months on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. And
Wow.
then when I came to Instagram, within a few years, I had 50,000 followers, and then
Mm-hmm.
another 2 years, I had 100,000 followers, just for me posting stuff that I love.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody has to start from somewhere. Post what you love. Don't post, oh, I need to get 1,000 followers. Just post what you love,
Yeah.
and look what people are gravitating to, and sometimes jump on that wave, right? Because people like trends. You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
use your hashtags because people click on hashtags, right? Little things like this will help you grow your page. Everybody has to start from somewhere,
Yeah.
so keep at it.
Yeah. That's really golden tips.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think that we at the end of our interview. And yeah, I want to thank you very much again, like for taking the time to talk with me, and because I know that you have like 1,000 project to do, and you're very busy. So
Hmm.
I really would like to talk to you another time, but I don't know when, but in the future, to
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, to catch up with like all your project and see where you're at, and
Hmm.
especially like when the campaign gonna start to launch. Like I think it would be interesting to meet again and to see like
Definitely.
yeah, what we can do. Okay,
Yeah.
so Asante, thank you so much for your time and for the all those insight about what you're doing and what you believe in. And I talk to you very soon. And maybe I don't know, like when COVID is done, because I'm living in Toronto as well. So
You live in Toronto?
yeah,
We gotta meet up, man.
yeah, seriously, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because
So I'll send you my number in the email
okay,
in the email thread, and yeah, we can exchange numbers, and eventually sometime
yeah,
this year we can hopefully go sit on the patio and have a drink or something.
yeah, definitely, yeah, that would be my pleasure. So that's why when I saw that you were here, I was like, oh my god, that's
Yeah,
destiny.
indeed, definitely
Yeah.
destiny, man.
Okay,
But thank you for having
so
me on,
yeah,
and I would definitely love to be on again, and hopefully in 6 months I'll be talking about completed projects and
yeah,
a successful Kickstarter. That's the goal.
okay, let's do this. Okay, bye bye.
All
Have
right,
a
man.
good night.
You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye. Thank you for listening to African Action Heroes, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode, learned something interesting, and had a good time. Continue the conversation on our website, africanactionheroes.com. Make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section. And of course, if you believe this podcast could help or interest someone you care about, make sure to share it. It was TAMKO, our image, our stories, our narrative.